We got one person already. Hey, we are live. Hello, hello, hello. This is Kathy Hampton and coming from Wellside Retreats. And Wellside Retreats is a transformational destination retreat and life coaching service. I'm a transformational life coach. Basically, that means I help people, in particular Black women, move through transition from one place to another. If they're feeling stuck, I assist or help if they so choose to receive help to move to a better place. And I'm happy to be here today with my accountability buddy, but actually my friend, Nakia Booker. We call her Kia. And yeah, we're going to be talking about some great things. So if you haven't seen me on YouTube before, please do me a favor if you are interested in talking about discussions of wellness, um, uh, life changes, because we all have life changes. Doesn't mean you're going through the change, you are just having a life change or transition. And I talk about those things about body, mind, and spirit being well. Do me a favor if this is something that you are interested in, please do me a favor and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that when another video of mine comes up, that you'll be notified. So, with all that out of the way, I'm so happy to have my buddy Nakia with me. We are accountability friends, about accountability buddies. We hold each other accountable. And we met through a community which we are part of. And that community is of the Exodus Summit movement. And basically, we're trying to leave this country because we know that we will be happier some other place. And that goes really in line with what I do. I talk to myself about where you want to be and what you want to do, Kathy, to make yourself happier. Yeah, I didn't know that I was going to be making moves to other countries, but why not? Why not travel? Why not do those things that I have dreamt about doing? And while doing that, meeting other people who are also like minded. And Kia and I met through an accountability group back in, was it 2021?
What was, yes, 2021 was last year's Exodus. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last year. So we met in the chat, in the
Yeah.
group. We were, yeah. And so Kia, I've done a lot of talking so far. Why don't you tell I know about you, but not everybody else does. So
Right.
tell everybody about you.
Okay, so oh wow, I don't even know where to start, but I'll give just like I guess a brief synopsis. I am originally from Louisiana. I've traveled like all over. I too discovered last year I my journey to wanted to leave the country. I always wanted to leave, but I kind of fast forward my journey after the pandemic and after Brother
Mhm.
Floyd, the incident with the civil unrest, and it led me on because I was originally at that time living in Washington D.C., which now I guess you can say I'm back back and forth, if you will, in between there and Atlanta. Um, but I'm also been on a just I guess I would say a self-discovery journey, if you will. So when you ask me to introduce myself, it's like I've done so much changing, and in the process of so many changes at this time, I am you look a lot of different look a lot of different things. Now I'm an author. I have that journey also during my change in the pandemic and civil unrest has led me to release my first book. It's a black art coffee table book. And like I say, there was another change that came along the way in my journey. So we can touch upon more of that a little later. But yeah, so I'm in the process of myself of going abroad. And like as Kathy said earlier, we met in accountability group. And what's so funny is because I don't even know which group we were doing using, I think the side chat on, but we started talking in the chat, and me and some other women, like we discussed, we like we chatted for a little bit, but somehow we fell off. And then I saw, it was so funny is I saw Kathy doing an interview on another show. I was like, oh yeah, I need to reach out to I was like, oh yeah, that's another person I was chatting with, and I need to reach back out, to her. But it's amazing how timing is everything. And I
Yeah.
think that when we did link back up, it was perfect timing for both of us. Because when you in accountability group, it's hard when you with a lot of different people because everybody's on a different timeline. And people like, oh, I'm not gonna leave until another year. Oh, I gotta sell my house. Oh, I gotta get my child off to college. Oh, I can't leave just yet because I'm trying to. But it's so amazing and divine how Kathy and I, when I reach back out, it's just amazing how our journey aligned at the same time. And we both was trying to leave around the time frame. And as time has gone on, our timeline has even gotten closer and closer together. And it just lets you know how things, it's just amazing how it work out. And because we started with a much larger group and a lot of other women we still keep in touch with, but Kathy and I journey has aligned the timeline almost to a T. Almost. It's just amazing. Like I said, how everything work out. And it's kind of easier too when you kind of working one-on-one. Because when you're working with like 3, 4, 5, a larger group, to me, it can get chaotic. You know what I'm saying? And you still can kind of feel, if you will, almost alone, well, because everybody at a different point or whatever. So I think it's just been divine, and it just worked out that we align, and our timeline is more closer together.
Right.
So
Right.
that's been
So
helpful.
yes, so I remember it being that we met, and I said who would want to be accountability partners,
Uh-huh.
and then you answered first, and then
Uh-huh.
another woman said, "Okay, I do too." Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually, and then I think we broke off and didn't really we shared our information,
Right.
and um, I was getting ready to go on. I forget the timeline, but
Right.
I was getting ready to go on my sabbatical. I was preparing for that.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
And
Mm-hmm.
right. And so and that sabbatical was to be for 3 months. And I started I gotten back in touch with you, and I said, "Do you want to start to meet or do it?" And you said,
Yeah.
"Not quite yet. I have my timeline
Yeah, I think
isn't
I was
yet."
somewhere. Yeah, I was trying to
Yeah.
figure out where I was at the very top of my
Right.
journey. And you was on your
Yes.
way to, like you say, to do your sabbatical, and we linked up, I guess, right when you came back.
Yes, yes. And I
Yeah.
came back from the sabbatical. I had worked with someone else, and she was getting ready to go.
Oh
And
wow.
so I was, yeah, and she was doing like a year long, she's bopping
Yeah.
um right now. And so and I think we worked together for a while, and then she was off. And then I
Right.
went on my sabbatical, and you kept up with that, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back, and Key was like, "Tell me all about it."
Yes.
Right, right,
Yes.
and yeah. So I told you all about my experience for the 3 months, and then you said, "Oh, I'm getting ready to go for my scouting trip, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to go
Yep.
and see Portugal."
That was
And I was
Portugal.
like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, and I'll get back in touch with you when I get
Yeah.
back."
When I come
So,
back.
right, and so we my what I wanted to talk about with
Mm-hmm.
respect to our accountability is that we all have different timelines for
Yes.
everything, and the way we do things is different. So what I really like about Kia is that I had gone on a scouting trip to Mexico for 3 weeks. It was, I
Mhm.
called a solo retreat.
Yeah.
You also went on a scouting trip
Mhm.
to Portugal.
Mhm.
And your scouting trip was like for business. Like, I'm conducting business when I get here. I'm gonna find out how I can live there, how I can how,
Yeah.
how I can get residency, how I can do all manner of things, how I can sell my book, how I can
Yeah.
live, how I can do the work once I get there. And I was so impressed with there because I was just like la di da di da, I was on my, I was
Look,
skating through
acting
my
like you was on a sabbatical. That was your problem.
right.
You
So
was lounging and leisure and
yes,
R&R. I did
yes,
a little of that.
yes. So I was like, and so when you came back and you had all this information, I was like,
And I
really?
went for only 2 weeks. I
And
don't
she
even
has
think I
like
did a full
lists.
2 weeks. I think I did maybe like 12 days.
Yeah.
And you know what's so crazy, Kathy? I lost a day because the day I posted original rent, I don't know if everybody would remember, but this summer flights and stuff was crazy. A lot of
Okay.
stuff was canceled during that time. A lot of stuff was delayed. People, and I lost a day because my flight I was doing going to through Canada and whatever the airline, Canada Air, whatever, and they delayed my flight maybe like 4 or 5 times. So by time, and I would have missed my, excuse me, my connecting flight in New York. So I would have had to wait on the next one and like would have been in the airport for like 18 hours. So I was
Oh
like,
no.
I'd rather stay here in Atlanta and do another fresh flight the next day, like go home, sleep in my bed, and that's what I did.
Oh, okay.
And this reminds me of a story, something recent I just found out, and I'm trying to see should I share it, but I think I should because I think it's really cool. When I was in the airport, like all my flight was getting delayed. I met a young lady who was also going to Portugal as well. And we
Uh-huh.
exchanged, we just, it's so funny how we just hung the whole time. And you just start talking, you see a sister like, oh, you wait on the flight, and we started talking or
Mhm.
whatever. And we kind of just stuck together because we both was going and on the same flight. And she was going to Portugal for like maybe 2 or 3 days and then was going to go on to friends to hang out with friends. And it's so funny because she was like, I'm looking, and I got my sister looking at whatever and trying to see if it's other airlines or whatever we can get over. So she's found a flight on Delta and said we can get there, but we'll leave tomorrow, and get there, and it'll be better than like I say, the 18-hour layover and leaving later. And we don't, and that half of the day is gone at this point.
Right.
So I said, okay. She said, I think I'm a book it. She says it was so crazy. It was only 2 tickets left. She said, I'm looking and they say only 2 tickets left. And I said, let's go down to the Delta counter. I don't want to do it online. Let's walk down to the Delta counter. Walk down to the Delta counter. We got the last, we got the tickets, we got our seats or whatever we were able to sit together at the end on the
Wow.
flight. And I said, we got to worry about, and this guy had, it's just amazing how stuff is divine and how things work out. I say, I look back now, this guy was an angel. So we would have had to do our, COVID test, because at the time they were COVID testing to get in and out, and it would have expired because you got to do it like
Oh,
24 hours,
right.
48 at the time. Remember,
Yeah.
before going out. So at this
Right.
point, it's late. It would have been, we wouldn't have had a chance. We would have had to go get another COVID test. So, long story short, the guy behind the counter, he hooked us up. He's like, give me your information, and he
You fixed it.
he fixed it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say he fixed it. I ain't saying no names of innocent and guilty. So anyway, long story short, she and I, we exchange numbers. We say we gonna go back home. We gonna say we'll meet you at the airport in the morning. I wait. I got to the airport. We connected again. We got on the flight. We boarded. We rode out. We end up sitting together on the plane. Long story short, because they had a whole row. Everything wasn't sold out for some reason. And we
Wow.
end up sitting together on the plane. And
Uh-huh.
then when we got to Portugal, we got to Portugal together, and I made sure she got in her Uber or whatever, and I got in my Uber, and we hugged or whatever, and we went on. And I think I texted her maybe one other time. But this is the coolest part. Come to find out, the movie out now called Till with Emmett Till with Whoopi Goldberg that
Oh
just
yeah.
was.
Right.
The young lady that plays the mother is the girl that I was with.
Stop it.
Danielle Dentweiler. So she and I was the one in the airport
Oh
together.
my
And I was
God.
like, oh my God, that's Danielle. And we never talked about like what we do. Like I didn't tell her I had a book, and she didn't tell me like, oh, we just hung and had
Oh
conversation
my
about life. And we
God.
talked about her son. Like, just like, I knew she had a son, yada, yada, yada. And we talked this whole time. And I just, and how I found out was, I say, she was doing an interview I was watching recently. I was watching like, I don't know, The View or something, some talk show with her on it. And I saw, and they put their name at the bottom. I was like, dang, I said, that name sounds familiar. I think I know it. I said, Detweiler. Do I know it? And I went through my phone and I was like, oh my God, and I say, but it may be another one. It may be a different one.
But she looked like this one, right?
I guess because even though we hung together like all that time, and people look at like,
Yeah.
And I see, because I wouldn't think nothing of it. And so afterwards, I just went on to look her up on the IG, and then I was like, oh, that is her.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's we move around this world, and you just don't know. You just don't. That's awesome. That is. Now, what did you guys talk about? What you were going to do in Portugal?
She said she was just hanging out with some friends, like for a couple of days. I think she was like going for leisure, and I told her that I was, going for a scouting trip or whatever.
You were hunting. Okay. Yeah. And so yeah. So we had two different ways of finding out about what we like or didn't like, or whether or not Portugal was the place for us to relocate to. And I think we both decided that, that was the place. And you are interested more so in Lisbon. Can I say that? And I'm interested in Portugal. Yeah. So the question I kept getting when when I was either there and coming back, people asking why I am interested in Porto. And the only reason I come to that I could think of that I like it maybe over Lisbon was a feeling that I got. I couldn't like put my finger on it. Because I really liked Lisbon. But when I got to Porto, and I was thinking about this morning before, we were to meet, like the thing that I felt I was in three different places, and I had a great time in all three places. I was in Sintra, which is really right up the street from Lisbon. And then I was in
it's like
Lisbon.
30 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's a train ride. It's like,
and that's where the beaches are, right? Isn't it the beach there that everybody goes to?
No.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking somewhere else. Go ahead.
No. That's Cascais. There's a beach like downtown.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
So so I was thinking I felt at home there because there are places that I would frequent on a regular. So I became like a regular at places. And it made me feel like I was home. There were like three different cafes that I would go to depending on my mood. And I could walk to them. I could take a short walk. I mean, a quick walk, a short walk, and a long walk. And I would be there in those places. And Porto is actually really close to some rural areas. Like you could be downtown, and then in a minute you could be like in a farm country. And it's bizarre. It's actually bizarre where people have chickens and cows, right?
Right next to downtown. 2 minutes from downtown.
Yeah, and so that was kind of interesting to me, because I have thoughts of of things that I might want to do, because there that I've had. I have an interest in um, in having sheep on my land. This is going to sound really bizarre.
I love
Sheep on
sheep.
I know sheep on my land so that I could shear them and sell their wool. And I'm not the only person who believes that. But
Yeah,
I've been thinking about this since I was probably about 15
that'd be
years old,
cool.
because
Mm-hmm.
a teacher of mine had sheep and she would shear them for wool. And she would also have their lanolin, squeezed out of the wool, and she would sell it. And
Oh wow.
so, yeah, so I was like, God, that's cool. And they're very peaceful,
Yeah, they are.
and they're cute. And, anyhow, I'm thinking I could be living in a city or close to a city and also have sheep
Yes.
in my
And
backyard
have your land and your
and have
farm
my
and the
land.
stuff.
So these are ideas that,
Perfect.
I've thought over the years. I've been laughed at because of them. But recently I found out that I'm not the only one. There are plenty of people like me who want to
Yes.
do that. And it's actually an investment, to do that. In the United States, people write that stuff off on their taxes, when they have stuff. So I'm trying to think as strategic as I can. I'm
It
not a
can be
real
done.
savvy business person or
Yes.
investor, but I'm gonna get to that part. I'm gonna
Okay.
get good at that.
You will.
But yeah. So why did you like Lisbon? That's the question I wanted. What was it about Lisbon that you liked?
To me, it was like the perfect combination of like it's a city, but it's like a slow city. You know what I mean? It's
Mm,
that, and you have your, I love that it's walkable. I love the idea of, I feel like, I don't know, it was more so of a feeling. You know what I mean? Like I
mhm,
knew
mhm.
as soon as I got to the airport and I walked outside, I was like, this my
Yeah,
city. Like
yeah,
I just knew.
yeah.
And
You
as
you
I
said that.
continued to go through everything, and it was just like confirmation. I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. And
Mhm,
it felt, it was so familiar to me. I hit the ground running, like doing stuff when I got there. I did
mhm,
not even feel like I wasn't home. I felt
mm.
like I had been gone a while and was coming back, if that makes
Right.
sense. Because I
Yeah,
just, like I said,
yeah.
I hit the ground running, got the SIM from my car. I was on Google immediately doing stuff. I met up with another friend there who was from
Mhm,
another country, Brazil. I met her for the first time. And she came, it was so funny because she was like, I'm on my way. I'm gonna meet you at your Airbnb and then we'll go from there and hang. So it was just like when I landed and when I was there and the way I entered the city and hit the ground running and met up with a friend, it was all like I'd been here before.
mhm,
Like I'd done this, like it's familiar. Like I have uh um a life
mhm.
here already. You know what I mean? Because who goes to a city, a place, a whole country they ain't never been to, and hit the ground running and meet up with people? Oh, girl, I'm on my way to come and get you. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I put my bags down, and like 5 minutes later, she's knocking at the door, and I'm looking out the window. I'll be down. Like that girl, like that's where I live. Like we've been doing this all the
Right,
time. You know, like we
right.
both already been here, and she had been there 2 weeks before me. So she was really familiar with it. She had been to the Juneteenth celebration the week before. She was like, oh yeah, I had an Airbnb in that neighborhood where you are now. So I know
Wow.
exactly where that is. Because she
Okay.
had moved around the city too to get the feel. And she was
Feel.
doing the same thing that you was doing. She was like, she was spending like a month or two there. Because she's like, I
Okay.
need to go to Porto. I need to go
Uh-huh.
because she has a daughter and she was looking for trying to see what areas she would enjoy,
Oh, I
for
see.
schools,
Right.
and she was doing all that type of stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, it just was kind of like
Yeah.
I didn't hit the ground like a tourist though. I didn't come there and was
Right.
like, it was, and even before I went, I was like, I'm doing 2 touristy activities. I did a boat ride and I did the African Lisbon tour. Those were my touristy events. I wasn't doing over that I had that set in my head before I even left. I say,
Mhm.
these are my 2 touristy. Everything else, I'm about business. You
Pamela
know,
Jones says, sounds like Kismet, Nakia.
yes,
Mhm.
Pamela, yes,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
So, like I say, and I knew the way it embraced me and I embraced it, it was like this me.
Mhm.
Like I say, when the air hit my nose, I say this me.
That's right. Yeah,
This me.
it is. It really is something. What your trip was. I think both of them, told us what we wanted to know, and now what we've been holding each other accountable for is to truly get there and take the action. We do a whole
Yes.
bunch of dreaming about, we wish that we were there now. Um, but I believe that, and recently, I'm going to say recently, probably the last 2 weeks, is that I actually stopped thinking about it in so much in the distance,
Like it's far and
like it's far away, and
processing it in
thinking
the
about
now.
it like it's right now,
Moving
right?
now.
Moving, yeah, moving and taking the steps to get there, but also living in the present and just being happy now, being at peace with what is going on
Right.
right
The
now.
journey.
The journey, and each day, each step that I take, I'm doing that. And so it's made a difference because I'm feeling some kind of way about not getting there, right away when I see other people on the are there and doing their thing, but we all have our timeline. So that is why I wanted to talk about accountability, because you've helped me, like, get, stop dreaming and, think about the business of doing there, because I now have a lease that I have to think about. I'm living in lease time. I'm living in paying it.
And look,
Right.
nothing like a good old fashioned lease to get you to get your mind right.
And so I'm like,
That'll
I
put
don't
it
like
in
this. I don't
perspective.
like this. And so
To put it in
I gotta wait
perspective.
until this thing is up, and that was causing me some anxiety, but I'm cool now.
Right.
I'm understanding of that, and you actually took some steps. You said, "Come on, let's do X, Y, and Z,"
Yes.
and
I even
so
started before I wanted to. Because again, like you say, we were living, oh, next year
yeah,
but why
yeah.
wait? Start
Wow,
now.
wait,
Like
yeah, do it now. We can do
look,
these
we
things.
ready to go now. So let's start now.
There you go. There you go. So, so in this process, I'll share that Portugal has this number, like something similar to a social security card. It's identification card, and that was the first step I took, and went through. Nakia had like 5,000 five lists of things, places to go, things to do, all the bureaucracy you can
Yeah.
imagine. Has everything. No, you do this, you do this, and she said, "That's on my list. I got this." And so I picked one, and I got my NIF. It's a national
Yes.
identification
I forgot what the F start for. I mean stands for the F.
form. Maybe it's a form.
Something.
I don't
Hey,
know. It's
it don't
NIF.
matter. NIF. Look it up. Google it, folks.
So I got it. Poof, like that.
Yeah.
And you have to get that, and in order to get your bank account, supposedly you need that, but Kia's found out that you don't need that number
Right. I think it's
necessarily to
all
get that.
about who you know. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. So,
Look. Yeah.
well,
Hey.
so we followed the quote unquote rules
Right.
and got that to so that we could get the bank account, because you need the bank account to prove that you can live there. You got to put some money in it, and the
Yep.
number keeps changing. We don't know how much, but you know, we
Yeah,
trying to.
it don't matter. We gonna be ready. We gonna stay ready.
That's right. That's what Keith said. It don't matter. That's none of our. What's the phrase? It ain't none of our
In our
business how much it
business.
is. We just gonna put it in there.
That's
So
right.
that's how we rolling.
That's
That's
right.
how we rolling. So we keeping ourselves accountable. We get down and out. I haven't got an email yet from so and so yet. Oh, it'll be in there. So half the battle of being accountability buddy is being the cheerleader also.
That's right.
We cheer each other up. We have lots of fun about, yeah, it ain't none of our business about what's gonna
Right.
happen next. We just keep on rolling with it.
That's right.
Because that's the dream. Nobody's
Mhm.
we don't want anything to bust the bubble or to screw up the
Right.
dream. So
That's right.
that's what we're doing to keep each other
On track.
uplifted, and on track, right? Because there's a whole bunch of things you can get sidelined by, whether it be
Right.
personal, with your job, your professional life, or
Mhm.
your streams of income, or
That's right.
lack of thereof, or what you're feeling. All of that can get in the way.
That's
So
right.
yeah, having a cheerleader is good. So if
Because you gotta
anyone,
keep pressing forward, because it's always gonna be something. It's
that's right.
always gonna be
That's
something.
right.
But if you want it, keep looking forward. Don't look back.
That's
Don't look. Just keep pressing. If you can't go left, go right. You can't go right, go left. You can't go up, go down. You just gotta
keep on
stay
going.
focused. Stay
Stay
focused.
focused. Stay
Focus
focused.
on your focus, like Beyonce says.
Focus on your focus. That's right. Yeah. So that's what's been happening as part of holding one another accountable.
That's right.
And checking in with one another, and we've been checking in a lot with one another for a number of reasons.
It changed so fast, so every day, don't it, Kathy?
It does.
I'd be like, oh, I got some news. Oh, this happened.
Yeah.
Oh, this email comes through, and it can change. It's like the more we going towards it, the faster it comes towards us. That's why it's important to keep moving. Because I'm like, oh, stuff happens so fast, and stuff can turn around. Like, girl, let me tell you this. Let me tell you what happened now. Look about that. Look about that.
So one of the things that cracks me up about Kia is that listen, thank y'all for saying this. I get down when I just learned while we were on here how to show this on the screen.
Oh, cute. Look at you.
Hey,
look at you in the tech department. Come on, production.
I got another skill I learned. Yeah. So I'm feeling good about myself. So hey, Pamela. Pamela says, thank y'all for saying this. I get down when I hit an obstacle or spot of uncertainty. Oh, yes. Your discussion reaffirms the power of accountability. But yes, Pamela, it is for real. Because you know what we do? We think that we can do everything ourselves. That, that quote unquote strong Black woman is BS. And strong why? Because if you have so much on top of you, you're bound to break. And if you have somebody helping lift something up for you, help with the work, it's so important to have somebody. We weren't meant to be here on this planet, in this world, by ourselves, alone. No such thing. I'm a real fan. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It streams on, I don't know, Discover Channel or some other channels. A series called Alone, where the people go into the wild and they're alone.
Is it like Naked and Afraid?
No, not that one. But I've seen that one. Not this. No, these people.
That's the only one I've heard of. I haven't seen any of them, so I don't know. But Alone, is it like kind of reality?
Yeah, it's a reality show.
Okay.
And they stick them out there in different places alone. And you can win $500,000 if you stay you the last one. And two women have won out of
Oh
many
wow.
men. Thank goodness. And and they have learned how to be alone. And live through the harsh weather. They only put them out there when it gets cold, not when it's hot. And so I would probably not be able to do this. But what I'm getting at is that we're not supposed to be alone. All right, I'm gonna let you. We're not supposed to be alone. We are supposed to have someone to help us out every once in a while. I learned how to live alone almost what would be about 5 years ago
And it's
that I
been great, right?
started.
I know it has.
I didn't think it was.
Oh, at
So
first you didn't?
through my separation and then divorce, I
Right,
was living alone and hadn't
right.
lived alone in years,
Years.
years, over 30 years. 30 years.
Wow.
I had I
So
had
it's
not lived
adjustment.
alone. And it was an adjustment. And I thought, this is kind of crazy. I'm in here like singing to myself, not, I'm like, oh, there's nobody to
Getting
talk
used to
to.
yourself.
You had to get used to me. Yeah, I would
Mm.
go by the mirror in the bathroom. I'm like, oh, okay, there's somebody here. You it's like it was
Like, hey
crazy.
girl.
Yeah, but you know what? I ended up having neighbors as friends. I had neighbors with dogs and cats who asked me to babysit their dogs and cats. And then I was like, I don't want to always do this now. I'm
Right.
okay being alone. You know,
Hmm.
even I lived in Newark, New Jersey, and the homeless people became my buddies. They would watch out for me. Hey, I wasn't alone. There's
That's
always
right.
somebody out, out there for you. So
That's right.
yeah, and to hold me accountable though, getting back
That's
to the
different.
accountability, to
Yeah.
keep you on track. Because I actually haven't had, done a lot of self help and had horrible. I didn't have good vibes with therapists.
Yeah,
So
it's a
I
journey to find a good
yeah,
one. It's
find
a
a good one.
journey.
So I was like doing a lot alone, and not until recently did I find. I'm just gonna say in the last um, maybe about 4 months have a
Mm.
great therapist.
It's
Um,
a journey.
and I basically said I'm good now, so we don't meet that much, and so
Right.
I'm good. So, but yeah, being alone is not key when you want to do something, and you need somebody to ask questions with, maybe help resolve something that you don't know about. It's all good to have somebody to hold yourself accountable. It's you who has the responsibility
Yes.
to ask for the help, or
Which
to
is the
ask
hardest
somebody
part,
for
by the
love.
way, for a lot of people. It's hard for some people to ask because they don't
Yeah,
want to depend for a lot of different reasons. Trauma,
yeah,
heartbreak. People go through, so they don't want to get afraid, judgment.
yeah,
That's the hardest part. They're asking
yes,
somebody. Some people don't
yes.
want to feel like they bothering people or hindering people. And some people
Mhm.
too don't feel like they can't trust nobody. But look,
Right.
it's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, it's
Let
another
alone
podcast.
just ask
That
that
trust thing
trust.
is a big issue. And that trust thing has a lot to do with a lot of Black women in
Yes.
particular holding on to their stuff, keeping their mouth
Mhm.
closed, scooting
Yes.
stuff under the
The
rug,
rug.
talking about it. Shame, guilt, all of that goes into that. I have no shame. I talk about
Mhm.
stuff all the time.
Yes.
I talk about uncomfortable things because I think
Yes.
that everybody should be able to talk about uncomfortable things,
And
whether
that's
it
how
be.
you move forward and get the help.
That's right.
That's how you
Absolutely.
move forward and get the
That's
help from
right.
it. You have to discuss it.
Absolutely.
That's the first step. Get it
That's
out. Get it
that's
out.
and I think that over the years, your childhood or teenage friends that you once had have learned how to hold on to things
So,
that they don't want to express to you. So you then find, oh, maybe I don't have anything in common with them because I can't share my stuff because I know she's holding on to some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know if you could trust that person with your stuff as
Right.
not to be judgmental. You know, and so it's really important that the lines of communication with friends or family who you can trust stay open. If they don't, you got to move on and actually find somebody else you believe you can
That's
trust.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's the dynamics of relationships in general.
So
Was
true.
when you can do that. Because right now I don't think I know of anyone outside of the community in which we are a part of.
Yes.
Um, I don't know. I don't know anyone
Right.
from
Because
my pastors because this is new.
it
I have
is.
I have changed. I have
Yeah.
changed. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
I'm kind of like the weirdo.
Which look, that's how you know you're on the right track. Because you're not like the
I'm
others
weird.
anymore.
Right.
You're not like the others anymore. You have unconditioned yourself. You have raised your consciousness. You have opened your mind.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and I
Right.
think that's important. And I
Yeah.
think that's how you know you've grown, you moving forward. Because
Right.
that's the goal. You don't want to stay like your old self. You don't want
No.
to be like the others. You want to
Yeah.
break out the group.
Isn't
You
there a
yeah,
song like that? It's a something like
it may be.
yeah.
It may be. And
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Lauren Hill she says that she said, I had to reintroduce myself to everybody I know. You know, my whole family.
Yes.
I'm different now.
Yes.
You know, and I know how to what that feeling is. Yeah,
That's
you
right.
different. And it's just like if you can't get on board, and that's fine. That's
That's
okay.
right.
You
That's
know,
right.
yeah. So no, I know
Yeah.
and
So
this is something new too, because being exiting the country is like the new migration.
that's right. That's right.
And a
And
lot of people,
black women doing it too. You know, because
yes,
we're thought to be, you know, quote
right.
unquote lesser than. We're on the bottom of the totem
Yeah,
pole, and how dare they rise up and move, make
yeah,
change,
yeah,
transition, grow.
right.
You know,
Because
yeah,
we do it all, and that's our problem. We do it all. They want if we not here to do it, who gonna do it? Who
who
gonna
are you gonna do?
caretake? Who gonna
That's
do this? Who gonna raise the family? Who gonna?
that's right.
We do everything. We do
We do
all and get nothing.
get nothing.
So to
That's
do
right.
it for ourselves and to
That's
move forward and not have to, I think we're opening up and feeling like we don't have to answer to nobody,
that's right. Yeah, and
and that's what makes
I
the
will
difference.
say that that took me a long time.
Oh yeah,
And to have somebody who have others and knowing others, we saved a democracy.
yeah,
I love that, Grace.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we have done it all, and
yeah.
it's
And we
hard.
tied.
Tad, Tad.
Tied, tied,
Can
tied.
you say
Dude,
that?
is that Chris Rock?
Tad.
I think that's Chris Rock. Chris
That's
Rock and his, I think it was bigger and blacker, one of his stand-up, HBO stand-ups, and he'll
uh-huh.
say, tied, tied, tied. He did. I can't remember what the subject was, what he was
Yeah.
exactly talking about. But he'll
Tad.
say, he said, I'm tied, tied, tied.
Yes.
I think it's bigger and blacker because he was talking about the black folks versus niggas. And he was saying the
Oh,
difference.
okay.
And then he was talking about something else about us being tied, tied, tied. And he says it tied, tied, tied. And I can't
Tad.
remember what the joke was. I'll have to go back and
Well,
watch it.
well,
But
we
yeah,
have
one of his specials. But that's where I
yeah.
get it from. Tied, tied, tied.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we
We
don't have to
tied.
do any of this stuff, and it's time to. It's actually who was on here?
Mhm.
My girl Sandra. Sandra Jones. I'm gonna say from lack to legacy.
Oh yeah, she did her
Yeah,
interview. Yeah, she's
yes,
from Mexico, right?
yeah.
She did her interview with Stephanie Rashida a couple weeks ago.
That's right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Sandra
I was
says,
so proud of her because she's but was a teacher out of Chicago.
yeah, out of
Yeah,
Chicago. Sandra, Sandra,
yeah, Sandra.
Sandra says that you know, she's just sitting by the beach drinking margaritas.
And she should.
Sandra, and she should. She is
And she should.
she's not tied.
Right.
And that's my dream. That's my dream.
Mine too.
My
We see
dream.
you at the beach, Sandra. We'll see
Oh,
you real soon.
you see it at the beach. Sandra is not tired. She
Right.
is doing her thing, teaching others how to roll with some trading and investing, so that you don't have to be tired.
Right.
And that's where I want to be. I have written
Yeah.
in many a journal. Of,
I know that's right. Manifest that thing.
I have written. This is my latest one.
Right. Because you know
This
we all got
this
5,200 of them. Yeah, I got
about
100 of them.
not being tired and not
Right.
and moving toward
Ease,
financial
a life of ease.
sustainability. I'm sorry.
A life of ease, moving
A
towards
life of ease. Yes. So yeah, this is all about it, about how this is our start. And I recognize during a sabbatical where I did not work for 3 months how light I was. And when I say that, I mean it was like I was floating. I would
That's
sleep
like when
when
I
I
went to
wanted to
Hampton.
sleep. I would get up when I wanted to get up. I would go out, come back, or stay gone all day long. I would meet new people.
And just go through life with
Just
no agenda.
yes.
Mm.
No list of to-dos. Oh, I forgot I didn't go to this
To
museum
do
today. Oh, it's gonna be there tomorrow.
just
Oh,
whatever
I
comes.
didn't do that at all. I'll do it when I get here, get
Yeah.
back. You know, I'll
Just
and
like a life of free and floating through life. Just
yes,
as it
that's
comes. Just I
as it,
know, like, oh, not a
as-
care in the world. And it's so,
absolutely.
and that's why I didn't want me personally, I didn't want to do a sabbatical because I they have that like to touch it and then they come
And then
back
take it away.
and then take it away.
Yeah,
And then you starting from scratch, you gotta work. We working to free ourselves and get back. You see what I'm saying? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm
No,
gonna free myself because it's like
one
a
time it
tease.
was
Ooh,
that spot was really hard because it was
yeah.
too at when I kept on like getting closer to my flight to
To go
return
back,
home.
that anxiety.
I was like, I actually cried one night. I cried. I was like, I don't want to go. It's like leaving Disneyland or something, for a kid. I just don't. I just
know.
don't want it to
That's
go.
you preaching to the choir. I know exactly what you're talking about. Cause them tears, I don't even know where they came from. They just started on the plane ride back. I just started, and I'm like, it's like my soul knew, like
Wow.
this bitch going back. I don't know why she doing this. Look, it's like my soul was inside. I don't know why she doing this to us. Tears just started streaming. It's like I'm on the plane, like I tried to get left. I tried to get kidnapped. I tried to marry a bartender so I wouldn't have to go back. I tried to miss the plane. Girl.
Yeah.
It's
It was a sad
it was
thing.
crushed. My little soul was like,
Yeah. Yeah. It was
it was like back to the plantation.
as what you say?
Back to the plantation I go.
It was as you would say, it was such a much. It was such a much.
It was such a much.
That's such a much. That's such a much. It
It was
was.
such a much. I get that from
Exquisite
Iana Van Zant, by the way.
coils. Exquisite coils is on. How are you? Good. Hey. Yeah, it was such a much trying to get back, not trying to getting back. And the thing about it, there were no plane delays. There was nothing. It just took me straight.
Oh
straight
wow! Like we,
like
look in the handbasket, straight take you back to hell.
That's
Straight
right.
to hell.
All right. So, Kia, I want you to tell these people, because I'm
Okay.
so proud of you. We're gonna change it up a little bit about this book that you wrote, you produced, so you authored, I should say, you curated. Talk about it. Ooh, look at that. Look at
Yeah.
that. Yes, Black Artivism.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this, I don't know if you can see because the glare, I'm sitting by the window, but this is a project that came to me out of it was a divine download from out of the pandemic during that time. So this particular book is a collection of art, poetry, um it's a collaboration. I call it a Black joy because even though it came out of the pandemic, it is not a downer, if you will, because I love art. I'm an art enthusiast, and I was following a lot of the artists during this time, and I just saw so many great pieces and that came out, and I reached out to these artists to see if they wanted to be a part of this project. I was like, I had an idea. I think, it's so much great work. Got on the phone with the artists, very old school, got on the phone and spoke with them one by one and reached out to a lot of them. And a lot of them said, they wanted to be a part of it. They thought it was really cool. So, and it came together and now it's here. The book was released back in September. And I am so happy because it's been a long time coming. I wanted to release it last year, but everything is right on time, divine timing. And yeah, so you can get the book
Yeah.
at blackartivism.co. And that's the same as the Instagram page. And like I say, it is full of art, photography, poetry, quotes. I don't know. And it is also in the back of the book. I also have a list of Black owned art galleries throughout the US.
Oh, that's
So
cool. That's
yeah.
great.
So a
Yeah.
lot of people, different people, and galleries participated in this project. So yeah, it turned out to be beautiful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm waiting to get my copy.
I know I'm gonna
when
check
you
into
get
that
it,
for you. Yeah.
it's coming.
Yeah,
And
it's coming, honey.
yeah. And so I'm gonna and I'm bringing it with me to Portugal.
Yay! You
And
have
put
to
on
because we're
my
not coming back here to get anything. We're shipping
that's
all of our stuff.
that's
We're
right.
not gonna come back for anything. Once
Anything.
we get
That's
out, we're not coming back.
right.
I'm gonna ship some books too for myself.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, talk about when you got there, what you did. I thought this was so cool.
Okay.
She was serious business about it, with
Yes.
about the
Let
book, even when she
yes.
went her 2 week stay.
Yeah. So okay. So I went. Okay. So first, let me set it up real quick and get. I was just definitely gonna keep it Cliff Note style, but I got with a young lady, and I found her through Facebook. Actually, and believe it or not, back to Exodus connection, this young lady was a,
Mm.
a speaker at Exodus Summit, I think the first one. Did you go to the very first one?
Mhm. Yes, I did.
Her name Nikki Faye Tillery.
Yes,
Sounds familiar?
yes.
She does scouting trips for people who want to scout throughout the US. Now, if she's still doing this, I don't know. I don't know if she took a break from it or what. It all goes back to show how divine stuff works. So let me say this about the trip. So she was doing a scouting trip this year, and I think this was gonna be like her last one. It was just happened to be to Portugal because like she said, she was getting married, and then she lived in
Okay.
Kenya and had some stuff going on.
Right.
Like she was gonna stop it for a while, or two, she wasn't going to double back to Portugal this year. So this is going to be her last trip. And I found out about it maybe 3 months before the trip was actually supposed to take place. Now,
Mhm.
mind you, I wasn't going to do no scouting this year. I was going to wait to next year. You see what I'm saying? Because I was planning
Yeah.
on my dates and stuff was pushed back, and I was like, no, I'm gonna wait. I can't do it. It's not. I didn't think it was feasible for me to
Okay.
do it, and I was like, oh, it's kind of tight financially, and I was in the process of trying to also publish the book. So
Right.
I was like, oh, I didn't think it was feasible. Oh, but God
Oh, but
say,
yeah.
this is your door. You going with her, and you gonna do this trip, and she had like payment plans, so I was able to just pay on it and pay on it till it was time to go. I just made it. I just did it. I just like go back to what we were saying earlier about just pressing forward and just go. Don't worry about it. How it gonna happen? You just do your part and let him work out the rest. And that's what I did. I just paid
Okay.
on it and paid on it and went, and everything was paid for when I went. And what the scouting trip included me seeing a real estate agent, an immigrant specialist, and also I think what else was included? Like maybe the African Lisbon tour was
Oh,
included,
yeah.
and the I think one expat meetup group or two or something.
Oh,
So
okay.
one of the that's how I did that too. I did two expat meetups while I was there, and so and it included my Airbnb and I think one or two meals she covered. It was kind of like a going away meal and a welcome meal or something she
Okay.
paid for, whatever.
Okay.
Or that included in the trip or whatever. So
Okay.
long story short, it ended up being just she and I. Like two other ladies had something had happened. Like the one lady like had a death in the family or something like that, and was able to go. And looked like she said another lady did a down payment, but didn't make no more payments. So, but
Okay.
that's how makes you think. That's how I know it was divine because it ended
Yeah.
up just being she and I. Like
Right.
nobody else on the whole trip. So,
Right.
and I don't know how long she been advertising it. I don't know. I
Right.
didn't care. I knew that
Right.
door was open for me, and I was going through it. So,
Right.
and like
Right.
I say, so I planned my portion of the trip, and I met up with her when it was time to go to the meetings for the immigrant specialist, for the real estate agent, for the we met with a broker, a mortgage broker company, and I look, tell me what to me. Oh, okay, I'll be over there at 3. And then in the meantime, me and my other girl, we hitting the streets doing stuff. I did my boat ride. Like I had my own agenda in between. So I said, I'm gonna do this and meet my people and do
Right.
my agenda. And then when it's time to go meet, I go meet her. I was bobbing in and out. And I also ended up going to, there was a good, it was a unplanned thing that I did. I went to a flea market over there. I don't know if I mentioned that to you. I went to the largest flea market over there in, I think it's considered the large one in Lisbon, maybe Lisbon. I don't know, in Portugal, but it's the largest one in Lisbon. It's called the Thieves Flea Market, that I
Oh,
found out from another one of my friends that I met. Two girls I met on a boat ride. When I did my boat ride, I became good friends with the other girls, and we hung out the next 2 days like we had been together since
right.
third grade. Well, she was like, I'm going to this flea market. Oh, girl, so I'm going to, it's called the Thieves Flea Market. She said, you want to go and meet over there tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. I love a good,
Yeah.
European flea market, honey. I don't do flea markets here in the States, but over in Europe, I would do
You
one because
go.
we all know they are better, they are different, and they are the ones, those are the real flea markets. I said I was gonna make a because Europe is a real life. I said I was gonna do a T-shirt that said Europe where real life is, because I feel like real life is Europe is not here in the States. I don't know. I just feel that way because you come alive when you over there because it's so different.
Right. Right. Right.
It's so different.
Okay.
They
I
know
see what
what
you're saying.
they know what the life of meeting is. Because they slower the way they eat, the
Yeah.
everything. They
Yeah.
know
They
how to
take
eat right.
holidays. They
Yeah,
take holiday, right?
right. And they
Right.
take holiday. So
Yeah.
anywho, so that is something else I did. But I
Mhm.
met with all these people and I ended up meeting with 3 real estate agents. I ended up meeting with and who else? Yeah, like I said, I did the broker and I did the immigrant specialist. So I did all, and I went around and toured different neighborhoods,
Nice. Nice.
for to get the lay of the land, if you will.
Right.
So yeah, when I got the business and it all worked out and it all turned out. Cause like I say, technically I lost a day. I kind of went the second day, but it worked out because as soon as I got there, I hit the ground running. Because I got
Okay.
there around maybe like noon their time.
Now, tell me how did you find out about the store, the and stuff about the
The
book?
flea market.
No, your book. You went to.
Oh, so I went to LX Factor. Okay, back to that. Yeah, yeah. You got to keep me on track, girl. So yes, I went to the LX Factor area, and I found out. I think about this book. It's this big store. It's like a three-story bookstore. It has a bicycle in it. It's a famous bookstore over in Lisbon. So I think I found out about it on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
and my friend confirmed it.
Okay.
My friend from Brazil who came and met me at the Airbnb. When we
Yes.
looked up the second time, I say, "Look, I want to go to this bookstore." She said, "Oh yeah, that's an LX Factor." Of course, she knows.
LX
I was-
Factory.
yeah, factory.
Right.
And I said, "Yes, I want to go down there to go to this bookstore." So when I went in there, I just looked around. I asked for the manager. I talked to her and I
Okay.
said, "Look, I got a book coming out." I showed her my Instagram page and I said, "I would love for you guys to carry it." She said, "Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, wonderful." And she wrote down her information for me. So I'm gonna go back and connect with her, or I'm gonna have my PR department connect with her
There you go. Yeah.
before I get there because she says she has a publicist over there in Lisbon for
That's
me to work
awesome.
with.
Well, see, see a publicist
Divine.
in Lisbon. This is the business, man. She was thinking about the business. That's what I was so impressed with when she came back and
All
told me
right.
all of the stuff that
Yeah.
you will sell that book in the United States as well as overseas.
Right. Right.
Right, it's going to be in the store. And I went to that bookstore, and that
Mhm.
bookstore is really phenomenal. It is a
It
three
is.
bedroom floor, 3 floors. It's called the it's I forget the name of the bookstore, but it
Me
is
too.
in the LX Factory, which is
Factory.
an artist
Artist district, they call it. Kind of
district.
like artist district. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
and
cool.
um,
Really nice area. The
very nice
great
area.
restaurants. We ate down there as well.
Yeah,
And you know what's so
yeah.
crazy? I met a lady from Louisiana. I was waiting on my Uber and she heard me talking because baby, this southern accent is it's strong.
Such
So
a much.
she said, "Yeah, it is." And she said, "Are you from Louisiana? I heard you, talking or whatever." I said, "Yeah." She said, "I'm from New Orleans." I said, "Well, hey, sister."
Isn't that something?
She
Yeah.
said, "I said,
So
how you liking it?" She was asking it, so she was asking me stuff, and I was like talking to her like I wasn't a local, like I already lived there, and I was able to give her information because I lived there. I wasn't
in
visiting.
your mind, you were already there. That's right.
Two
That's
other
right.
people asked me for directions, came up and asked me where something was
They did that to
because they know
me.
I live there.
I'm telling you, I was doing a video
Uh huh.
um, in Centra,
Uh
and
huh.
I'm like putting my cameras
Yeah,
going all
yeah.
around, and I'm at a bus stop. You couldn't see the
Mm-hmm.
bus stop, and this man jumps out of a car, comes running over to me, and asks me where the bread store was. And bread in Portuguese is pan.
Uh
Oh,
huh.
pow, pow, pow,
Pow. Okay.
pow.
Pow.
And like you say, meow, but it's pow. And
Yeah.
so,
Pow.
uh, and I'm like, he had a full sentence, but
Yes.
the only word I understood
Bread.
was pow, was
Yeah,
bread.
bread.
And I
Mm-hmm.
had just walked past a bread store, and there were
Sure.
people meeting in there. Like you could tell that there was a meeting going on, and it wasn't open. And
Right.
so, so I said that way.
In English, that way, or that way in Portuguese?
No, in English.
Oh, I thought you would know that way in Portuguese.
No, I
Because
do
you've been
not.
studying,
I
you've
do
been
not.
doing the language lessons a
I
little bit
did
longer
do the
than I
language class, but that
have.
doesn't mean that I remember.
Okay. Yes,
I told
madam.
you a word I do, and that was bread, because that's
Right.
what I like to eat. Unfortunately, is pau.
Pow.
So I pointed him in that
Yeah.
direction. But people ask me for directions all the time.
While you
And
were
I had,
there.
yeah, and they say it's a round face thing. I heard this. When
Really?
people come up to you and ask you questions direction or for it's because you have a friendly face and it's round faces people recognize as being uniform, and that's what they go for. Like
Wow.
I got asked that if you don't see it before you see it, you will never see it. I don't know that
Amen.
breaks
I
some
get
things.
that.
Yeah,
You got to see it before you see
to
it. That's
see it.
right. You get
Yeah,
me. Basically, got to have faith and know and believe and trust and
believe.
know it's coming and
Yes,
that you already have it. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. So yeah.
But no, that's good to know though. But I think my
Mhm.
friend Murmur was with me. I told you my good friend from Brazil who I met as soon as I got there.
Yes,
That was the
yes.
second day we hung together, and she speaks like 4 or 5 languages.
Oh wow.
So when the guy came up to me and I was like, you're gonna have to take this, sis, because I don't, and he just started talking. And I think he was speaking Italian because he was a visitor himself. And
Okay.
she, of course, she knows Italian. She like knew all of, I think she speaks like 5 languages. Okay. And she started whatever language he was speaking, she picked up on it immediately, and she started speaking it to him and telling him where to go and what to do. And I love it. And I
Wow.
think that's another reason it was divine, because I was with somebody even my first day. She was like a little angel. She spoke all the languages. I had already been there 2 weeks. So she took me to the SIM store, because when I got there, as soon as I walked out the airport, my phone stopped working. And I didn't know why, because I got with Verizon before I left and thinking I got the international plan. I told them, I called them. I'm like, I'm going out this time. So my phone's supposed to have been working over there without me getting the card. And that's what I
Right.
thought, but I don't know what happened. And I told her, because I was like, I can't use directions. I can't text. I can't call. I was like, oh my God, it's not working. I'm completely shut down. And so
Wow.
thank God, when I got to the Airbnb, I think I could get on Wi-Fi, and somehow it could work. Something worked. I don't know if it's email or whatever, but I got in touch with her and I told her, it's like, look, my phone girl ain't working. She said, we'll get you a SIM card, which I heard about. You get the SIM card.
Right.
So I guess I'm gonna have to get the SIM card, but I can't be over here. I feel at
But that's
home,
what's
but I don't feel
up.
at home. That I can't be running these streets without no Google
Beautiful.
translating, no Google directions.
That's right. That's right. That's
I was
right.
like, I'm
Yeah.
confident, but I ain't. Hey,
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 Lori, thanks for stopping through. We appreciate you.
yeah,
We thank you. So yeah, so I was glad that you first, with respect to the book, got some
yeah.
clarity on things and got that done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and then you know what the accountability has done for me and for you is that we're looking at, although we're trying to live in the present, we're looking as if we are already there.
Yeah,
And there are so many people in Portugal right now because it's a hot place to be. But there are some expats who are doing some really great things and have concepts and ideas that are drawing me to feel real comfortable about being there and creating a life that I really want.
mm-hmm.
And so that along with your book, I have thoughts because of the textile industry there, things that I would like to do there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to enjoy it and travel, but I also think that I have a lot of life left in me, and
Oh
I
yeah,
don't necessarily I'm not doing the quote unquote typical retirement because
right.
you know yeah, there's things that I really want to
Right.
do and to create besides
Yeah.
writing. There's other stuff that I want to do, and that's a lot of active stuff that I want to do. And
Right. And I think they look at retirement here in the US different than over there. Because here in the US, you need to fucking retire. Because the slave factory that we still work over here, yeah, we do need to retire. It is different over here. I mind,
yeah,
because we've been conditioned, and the way we work Yeah, we need to stop working. But when
Working.
you
Yeah.
live over there, they set up different. They
Yes.
don't work. It's their way of life. Like, and they have a higher quality of life, and they work is not a priority there
Right.
like it is here. They not
Yeah.
in a rat race over there like we are here. So they
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
it's no such thing really as they
Yeah.
over there just even slow down even more. But it's
Mhm.
like the way they live, we should have been always living. But
That's
we,
right.
and then with us as a black people, that's a whole nother podcast.
That's another podcast.
So
We have to do that one
yeah,
later.
we don't ever have to really use the word, I would say, retirement for us, but because we don't live here anymore, I already claim it.
That's right.
So
It's a whole
it's
a
different,
mind
yeah.
shift. Like
It's a mind
my
shift
head is
instead. Because over
screwed
there,
on.
you just gonna be living your best life, doing things that bring you joy.
That's right. Hey,
And it's not necessarily work or something you ever have to retire from. This
wrong.
is you living your life with ease and
That's
joy and
right.
things
Enjoy.
you love to do and create. And you can
Yeah.
just be how you want to be comfortably.
Hey. Okay.
Okay. Look, and that's a poem. Da
The,
da.
boom, boom,
Yeah. Boom, boom.
boom, boom. Yeah.
Right.
And so
So
yeah,
no,
it
I
is.
totally get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
I'm
you
not.
gonna finally officially start living your real life as
Your real
God
life.
intended.
Right.
As we
It's
supposed
that
to be
dream.
living.
Yeah, that those when you go
To
to
us,
bed and
it's
you
living the
dream.
dream.
Yeah,
Because
when
we
you go to
trapped in
bed
the
at night and
factory.
you dream this, I dream these things, and then I wake up and I'm like, dang, it was just a dream. I want to.
It was all a
It
dream.
was all a dream. That's right. so, um,
Yeah,
so
but
yeah,
you're gonna be, I get it though. Yeah, because here we have to use the word retirement because we literally are still in a slave trade. It's just been remixed. It's
it's a
different.
remix. It's a
It's a
remix.
remix. It's been updated. Now
That's
we feel like we can move about the cabin, but this is still the slave trade. The way we
yeah.
work, the way we sit, the way we say stress, the way people still working 40, 60, 70 hours a week. And they call, you getting paid pennies, the way we're conditioned, you got to do this and live.
And
But all of that,
accepting all of this is the
yes,
thing.
exactly.
And we have accepted it so long that some
Yeah,
people don't believe. Some people
it's any
believe
other way.
still that this is what we're still supposed to do, and it's
Yeah,
okay. It's
yeah.
okay.
Condition. They still drinking the
It's a
Kool-Aid.
condition.
They still condition.
Yeah, yeah. And
Still
so
conditioned. So what
we're
we doing is
happy,
abnormal. It's weird. It's like, what?
right?
How can
I'm
you do
happy to
that?
be
That
the
don't make
weirdo.
any sense. Where you gonna do this? How you gonna do that? How
Right,
you can't,
right,
you going
right.
over there? What,
Yeah.
it ain't safe. How you supposed,
Oh God, I'm
but
so
it's safe. The
I'm
safe.
so tired of that safe stuff.
As you get murdered to get every day, as you can get
Yeah,
murdered going to the corner here, getting bread. But
yeah.
that's a different
I was.
podcast.
It's a different podcast. So, but yeah, it was a real good experience to feel the lightness and seeing how people truly live. They're real. So, some people are really quiet. I lived in a neighborhood in Lisbon
Mm-hmm.
between what they call Ajuda and Belém.
Mm-hmm.
The Judah Belém area, where they say it's the last neighborhood of Lisbon,
Oh
meaning,
wow.
yeah, meaning that in neighborhoods, a lot of times in European towns, they would have the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker,
Yeah.
and all of that right when you walk out the door. The streets are wider. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they were some were more flat than others, and it's truly residential. So what I saw there was just amazing community, and I was like, God, this is how it used to be. Like,
How God
the
intended.
neighborhood that I was living in the suburbs of Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
we knew people, but we didn't know people.
No people.
I didn't start to know people really for a while. And those
Mhm.
people I knew through my children's school. You didn't
Mm.
know. It's like, you
Because of
know,
that contact.
kind of
You were in
contact. Like the
contact with
next,
them in that way.
the neighbors, you know, came and said hello to us, but then that was all,
About it.
that was it. Whereas people there knew each other's habits. They knew, like in the mornings, you knew, the men go and get the bread, you know.
You move more like family.
Yeah, it was family oriented. And I was like, God, I wish that that could be a part of, you
Right.
know, this society. It is what it is. Try not to make many comparisons,
Right.
but the transportation system lends itself to people moving around instead of
Mhm.
staying in your own space. Keep it segregation.
Yeah.
You just move around on the various forms of transportation. You aren't conditioned to not go to the nice neighborhoods because they don't
Right.
have a train or a bus that goes in
Yeah.
there, right? That
Everybody got the
yeah,
same stuff. It's
yeah.
equal in the
There were
neighborhood, yeah, for
times
the most part. It's a
there were
park in
times
every neighborhood is this. Everybody have access to the same things in each neighborhood.
same things. Absolutely. And you know, there are parts of, say, even Washington D.C. a number of years ago where they didn't have good transportation in and around Georgetown. From
Mhm.
one side, they had one or two buses that would go from northeast or northwest over
Wow.
to
Yeah.
say Georgetown and beyond Georgetown, you
Mhm.
know, into, so you know, they shut down at certain times. So
Yeah.
um and that happens in lots of communities, even in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Certain, you know, they don't have, you can't take the metro all the way up
Mhm.
to Alpharetta. You got to get off and
Oh
take
yeah.
they make it hard for you to get around because of
Mhm.
segregation. You know, they don't want to they don't want to
Right.
allow you to go get
Only
too
certain people
close.
have certain access. That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you got to have a Benz or
Mhm.
some other form of
Right.
transportation to get up there. So yeah, it's a whole different
That's true.
thing. So, but it is also choice. You know,
Yes.
we all have choices that we want to make, and so, but I know what my choices are, and I'm very clear about how I want to live the rest of my life.
Right.
And so that's why, yeah, making moves and having an accountability person who thinks the same way,
Yes. On the
um,
same page.
is on the same
Know it
page.
can all be possibly done and it's
Yeah,
feasible to do,
that's
especially
right.
outside of the states.
Yes. Amen.
Amen.
So you want to leave? You want to leave with us? Leave anything with the people? We have some
Leave
great
the
people
people
who
with a
stop
word.
by. You want to leave a word? You had anything to say?
Oh God. Yeah. I'm just gonna say, I guess, to anybody, I guess, and no matter what you're trying to do, because I want to say this too, because going out the country is not for everybody. Look, everybody can't go. Look, it's this not everybody's destiny, and it's not. I say whatever you are trying to do, whatever you want to do, you have to. I think it's first and foremost very important to make sure within yourself you keep the belief. Don't put it on other people. You don't need, even though, like we were talking about today, is it's important to have accountability partner, and to that is helpful to find your tribe, your community, your circle, or what have you. But until then, because everybody, and just being real, you may not find them at first, you may not find them to the end if you ever, but if you have something you want to do, no matter if it's a dream, a goal, a job, whatever that your joy is, or whatever you trying to get to, you got to believe you can do it, and you got to be ready to leave some people behind. You got to be ready to set some boundaries. You got to be ready to cut off some people, including family. You got to be, look, because if you don't believe it, that it can be done or don't want it bad enough. Because I think that's important too. Some people don't want it bad enough and they want to sit up and complain and woulda, shoulda, coulda. Look, at the end of the day, this is very harsh and morbid because I can be very crass, but it's so true. I look at it like this: all roads end to death. So all roads end to death. You go like, and at the end of the day, 100 years is not gonna matter what nobody said. If you did it, if you didn't did it, but you want to die. I don't know if you heard this saying, with your hands open, meaning you want nothing left in you. You don't want anything.
Yes.
You want to have done it all, seen it all, and you don't want to be at the end say, "Oh, if I would have started that butcher shop, I wonder what would have happened." I rather would have started it and know that shit went up in flames and fell. But at least I say I started it and I saw how it happened and it wasn't for me, and I went to the next thing. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, I wish I would have went on that trip. I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have. I wonder what would have happened. You don't want to go out like that because at the end of the day, I feel like that, to me, for me personally, that is a bigger fear of doing whatever I want to do, is having regret. And no, you would live your whole life and you look back and you be like, oh, so you ain't do it because of what somebody said? Like,
Yeah.
you be like, that was petty and it was so, it's like you didn't have a good reason. Like, why
Right.
did you do
Right.
it? And you
Right.
look back and you're going to see how all that bullshit didn't even matter.
That's
You
right.
be like, it
That's
didn't
right.
matter what your sister said that you couldn't do. It didn't matter that you didn't have any money because people do so with no money all the time. Hence, don't ask me how I paid for this book to go look, not look, not to go back to the book, but I paid for my book. And I don't know if I said this, I don't think I said this to anybody, but this book was paid. I paid for everything out of pocket, but I did. God made the way for me to pay for it out of pocket. And the reason I say that, and this is why I learned the saying, God, if it's your will, it's your bill. Because you know I don't have no money for it. And
That's right. That's right. Well,
for me
that's
to
right.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I said it was a divine download. It was from him because I ain't never had I want to do no book on my bucket list. And I
Right.
say this all the time to people. So if there is anything you want to do, don't let nothing stop you. And that's why I say you have to believe and want it bad enough. You have to believe in
That's
it
right.
no matter what nobody else says. And you have to keep that, close and tight. You can't discuss with everybody. You can't discuss it with everybody because everybody ain't gonna join the bandwagon. Everybody ain't gonna understand. Everybody ain't gonna see the vision. They
That's
not.
right.
And that's
That's
why and to stay focused on that, that's why I say it's harsh, it's crash, it's morbid. But at the end of the day, when you look back, and even like I say, 100 years after everybody go, because everybody going to the other side, there's no way around it. Nobody ain't gonna be talking about. You remember how Kathy started that yoga shop and that shit went up in flame? Nobody gonna no. That's who's gonna be talking about it.
that's right.
Who's gonna be like, girl, that cat? Look, who gonna be reading the history books? Kathy Hamilton, the worst thing in history she could have done was move. Did you hear about this lady who moved to Portugal and her dreams went up in flame? Nobody gonna care.
Nobody cares. Nobody
That's why
truly.
it should only you be doing
That's
it for
right.
you.
That's right.
Nobody gonna be.
Absolutely.
We gonna be in another
Absolutely.
realm talking about some new. People are going to the moon. You think they worried about your raggedy dreams? No, and not to put them down and say they don't mean nothing. But
Right.
when you think about it, and
But
ask
they're
yourself, if
yours.
the entire world is billions and billions and billions of
Oh,
people. And when you
gosh.
think about it, that's why I say it got to be important to you. Because all road, everybody ends to look, it's all going to turn into dust. So do whatever you want to
To do.
do. Don't
That's
let people stop, no matter how small. Even if you say, I just want to open up a sock store, you open up the best sock store that you can and rock it out.
Yeah,
Like no matter how small or how big, you
yeah,
know, do
yeah.
whatever you want to do. Do it for yourself. And I think that is so important because we get so caught up in what everybody else say and what they say. I can't do it. I don't have no money. You're gonna have to keep pushing if you want it bad enough.
There you go.
That's what I
There you
want. I think is so important because, like I say, if you worried about what everybody else saying you don't have no money, guess what? You ain't gonna never do nothing. You might as well die now. What you still up for? Like, why you
Absolutely.
still waking up?
That's right. That's
Why?
right.
Like, just gonna be like, I might as well sit here on suicide watch. What are you doing? I look at it like this. Why would you want to just stay miserable and just wish and hope and pray and like, oh, I wish I could do this. Oh, I wish I could do this. I wish I had just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Just
saw
because at the
something.
end of the day, you have nothing to lose. I really think. Because I mean, if you're doing bad now,
Right.
like think about it. If this is the worst you could be doing, like you really don't have nothing to lose because you
Dude,
already in a bad place.
that's right.
You're already doing something you don't want to do. You
You
already
aren't
doing a
making
job
the
you hate. You
investment.
already ain't making no money. So what you got to lose?
Right. And so yesterday I saw a post, someone in the Exodus Summit community, sharing that she made it to got her residency in where was it? I think it's Sweden. I'm
Oh
not sure.
wow.
Yeah, so she did that, and she
How
expressed
it
that it
ain't
took.
easy to get a residency over there.
Right, right. It wasn't easy, and that to me was that was the that was what I was so impressed with and so happy for her. And so people were actually, congratulating her. But what
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of was, how'd you do it? I heard it was too expensive. I heard, and
I
to
hate when
me that
people do that.
means,
Yeah.
that was a backwards compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't care how she did it. She
Right.
did it. It's none of my
Right.
what did I say? Your business and my business
It's
is too much
too much
business.
business.
It's too much business.
Do
Whatever she
you?
did,
It was for
we
her.
applaud her. We thank
Her.
her for doing it, and that makes us feel that we need to do the work.
Yes.
You do the work for yourself.
For yourself.
Do the work and feel she did it.
Yeah. And you
Whatever
can
she
do
did,
it too, no
she
matter
did
how the
say
process was.
right, and she said it was an abundant feeling.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. It's an abundant feeling. Yeah, it is. That took time. It took
Yes.
money.
Yes.
It took your spirit to want to do all of that. And
Right.
yeah, yeah. And
It was a
I'm
journey
happy for
alone.
her. It's a journey alone, but she's there,
I'm happy
you know?
for her.
And
Yeah.
nobody's gonna say like, yeah, her dreams, nobody's gonna write it in the history books,
Uh-uh.
about her. She, as long
Mm-hmm.
as she knows that. Pamela says, like Tabitha Brown says, that's my business. That's right.
That's
It's
right.
her business. It's
That's
everyone's
right.
business.
Don't.
And that is where we were talking about earlier. The trust comes from
Mm-hmm.
when opening yourself up to sharing
Yeah.
your dream with someone, as Nakia and I have done, as well as other women. We aren't the
Right.
only two.
Right.
We shared our dreams with a community of people
Mm-hmm.
who understand, are compassionate, and are happy for you. Go on and
Yeah.
do what you got to do. If you
Do.
need some help, just raise your hand,
Man.
say, help me out. That is what I do in Wellside Retreats. And
That's
I'm
right.
going to get ready to turn this a little bit, because
Okay.
I want people to know that you can get a coach who will hold you accountable. Coaches hold you
Yeah.
accountable if you ask for it. It is
That's
not me who says, you want me, I'm going to be your accountability person. No,
right.
you have to open yourself up to receiving the relationship, the advice. I tell
Right.
I tell Kia, I don't know about, and she says, well, you need to do.
Right.
So I'm open to hearing it.
Right,
She's
right.
open to hear it, but you have to be open to it.
That's
If you
right.
want to be held accountable for whatever is
Right.
going to make you happy, your goals, your dreams, that's what it's all about,
That's
and
right.
accountability. If you are so interested in Wellside Retreats and what I do, it's a business. It's a new business. It's up and coming, but I do
That's right.
coaching. You can put your name on the email list when you go to the website, wellsideretreats.care, and I send out a newsletter
Mm-hmm.
and announcements as to what's going on
Right.
at Wellside Retreats. And I'm glad that we got to meet for a live. I'm going to try to do more of these. We are going to try to do
Yay.
more of these, and speak to everybody and let you guys know how our process is coming, what
Yeah.
steps, what little tiny steps we're making, or what big giant leaps we're making
Yeah.
to get to our dream of living in Portugal. So thanks for coming out. I think, let's see, it's 2:30. We did 1 to 2:30. That's pretty
We
good.
did good.
We
And
did,
with two, maybe we can open it up to questions later. As
yeah.
we do a couple of segments, maybe have a Q&A too, if people would
Yeah.
like
Does
to do
anybody,
that.
I'll just ask right now, anybody have
Okay.
any questions? There are 7 people listening or on here. Does anybody have any questions? It's not like
Woo! I
hundreds.
love it. We take it. I love it, honey. I love it. That's
So,
enough. Look, we don't want the fame to come all at once, Kathy.
hey,
Look, gotta
we got,
pay. Look, keep us humble. Pace
got
us.
to keep us humble, huh?
We already got a big head because we know we getting the hell out of here.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Anybody have any
wonderful.
questions to
Yeah,
ask?
they can put them in the chat or
Tell us
email.
what you been up to. Everybody doing all right? I hope everybody's doing. I just signed up, Kathy. Oh, thank you,
Oh,
Exquisite
good.
Kudos. I appreciate you.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but if visit Akia on her IG account, Black Activism.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't despise the day of small beginnings. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank
The name
you.
of the book is 2020, The Black Artivism Capsule.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna show
Yeah.
some
And
pictures.
it's a
I don't know if
beautiful
it's a
book.
glare. Got some quotes.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
can
glare, I
see.
know, on it, and it's kind of hard to see
The
because I know
work.
it's a glare. Yeah, it's a glare on it. It's a table of contents. It's a glare on it because I know I'm sitting by this window. So,
Oh, okay.
the cost of trip
The
to
cost for a trip to
Lisbon.
Lisbon.
Oh, it's her first international trip.
That's awesome.
That is so wonderful. Well, it kind of varies the cost of the trip. Depends on where you stay for hotel, depends on the flight, what time of the year, how many days you stay. So the cost will kind of vary. I know I went kind of like in the height of, I went in June. So isn't it a popular time, Kathy? June is kind of
Yes.
like the
Yeah.
height.
Summer is good. October is going to be, I'm planning my first trip is it October of next year? Yeah. October is going to be great.
Yeah, that's a good time because it's the
I
off season, right?
off season. I went January through this January 2022 through
Mm-hmm.
March, and the flight was, I think it was,
I can't remember. I think mine
I
was
want to
like
think mine was like 5 something,
together total
5 or 6, 5 or 6,
round
yeah,
trip.
round
I think
trip.
mine was 3.
Oh, wow.
I ain't no, but you know what? And then I bought a one-way ticket Remember, because remember I told you, so I didn't go. I didn't take going. I had to buy a one-way ticket, which was an extra like 1,200.
Oh, wow.
So it's hey.
Yeah. Okay.
Look,
she did that.
I was on a mission. You know, when you on a mission, you don't care if I had to cut my pinky toe off and sell it.
All right.
I was going.
Y'all, the pinky toe comes up quite often in the discussion. And what's her name? My girl is rolling in her grave. Because
look, if I was going to have to ride there on the pinky toe the whole trip, didn't care. Didn't care.
So okay. And so Airbnbs can be, because it's popular, the rates are higher, but also
Grace.
What?
Grace say just do feet pics. Okay, to be Grace is an Exodus sister. She knows. She went to the last Exodus summit. She know exactly, Grace. I need to get on it. I need to get I'm not consistent, but I heard that's where the money resides. Them feet pits, Grace.
Okay. So Pamela Jones. This is a good question.
Okay.
Do you invest as part of your move abroad plan for financial independence? Did you follow Adelia for advice getting started? I'm on the cusp of opening an account, but just have to take the leap. Okay.
Take the leap, please, Pamela.
Take the leap, please. I did sit with Adelia. Adelia is awesome. Adelia has great information, and I took her money confidence, financial confidence course or workshop, and I met with her one-on-one, and then I took her course. Great information. You have to take some action. You have to do the work. So I believe that you do the work. I believe that you do start investing. Now, the money for investing may not come, as far as dividends are concerned, quickly as you want it.
Couple years
for retirement, that is a great way to do it. But for moving abroad, saving, learning how to
multiple streams of income,
not spend multiple forms of income. If you're interested in doing that, in which the Exodus Summit also that was the theme
covered this year. It was money
moving abroad. I don't know, Pamela, if you were in that. I don't know. Yeah,
but she can still buy the reruns for Exodus.
Yes. They you can still sign up for the replay to Exodus Summit. Let me see if I can
find the link.
Well, just go to Exodus Summit
I think is it .com? Are they doing .com over there?
.com.
Exodus Summit.com. Or I think it was like Exodus 20 Summit 2022. I think .com, something like that.
Okay, let me see on my phone if I can get that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Pamela said she attended for the first time this year. So Pamela was there.
Oh, okay. So Pamela,
Pamela said I attended for the first time this year. So
please, the streams of income is where what I'm doing, my own and some that were suggested. Adelia's course on getting started with investing, but also get your money right, as she calls it, your FU money. Get your FU money right. And that is what I've learned how to do. I feel so empowered by what she talked about, taking basically a break on spending, a no spend month, a no spend week, every 2 weeks, getting down your debt, paying it down so that you don't have any baggage. As I always think about Erykah Badu and that Bag Lady song, Bag Lady. That's money, that's people. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Stuff, declutter. Now, talking about decluttering, Nakia is great on.
Baby,
She don't
y'all,
have
I'm about
enough.
to be living in a weekender in the like I got it out.
Yeah.
It's stuff I
Um,
got right now that ain't gonna go. They ain't gonna cross the pond with me.
right. So yeah, get rid because you can't run when you got stuff.
You okay? You
As
can't
far
be
as I'm,
sad.
you
And
sitting
also,
here. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna
Go
say,
ahead.
I think Adelia has something coming up November 18. I think it's actually free. If I'm not
Yes, a
mistaken,
workshop. I signed
oh,
up for
and I
that.
think it's free. A workshop.
Mhm.
Yeah, she can sign up for that too.
Yeah.
Get more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look when it come to money, I'm out here. Look, I'm just out here trusting God, sis. I ain't look, that ain't a
I do
conversation I'm
too.
gonna step into because
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real honest.
Yeah.
I felt I've just tried, and it is look, guys, he making the way
Yeah.
because it ain't me. Yeah, I'm out here
Yeah.
doing stuff. I know it ain't nobody but him because
Yeah.
I've done the saving and the thing and all this stuff, and I still be coming up like on miracle.
Mhm. Yeah, it is.
I don't really get into money conversations because I'm like,
oh, okay. No, and that's fine.
yeah,
And because sometimes I think it is divine. I think, me
yeah,
being able to save money to not have to work for 3 months.
right. That's a
Actually,
ooh.
I saved enough to not work for 6 months, but ended up, cutting my sabbatical short due to some
Mhm.
personal reasons.
Right.
Um, wish that I had, because I ended up basically giving that
Money.
rest away
Mhm. See,
myself,
yeah,
right?
it happens.
So, and Pamela says, I see Rick and Halisi are hosting a 1 week hey,
Oh yeah,
whoever
they do money challenges too. Yeah, they good
whoever
for the two.
whoever you feel good with, comfortable with,
Or
I
do
say
them all
do them all. You learn something new
from
from different
everybody.
people perspectives. So I say go for it, do it all. So yeah, I believe somebody kind of called me out there a few weeks ago about me investing in myself. And when I say that, I buy classes and courses,
You do. That's good. Yeah.
and
You
I think
always, yeah,
I
yeah,
always
you
do
be on it.
to learn something new. I have decreased that though, because I have enough information. I have enough information now to make this change. And so I am decreasing that. And I'm going to be no spending on certain things because I have it all within me. A lot of times we are, quote unquote, fearful of making a mistake and think that somebody else knows something more than we do. Um, or we just want to learn something new. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with learning and investing in yourself, whatever way you believe. We have invested so much on purses, cars,
Materialistic BS.
materialistic BS, that knowledge can't be taken away from you unless you know you don't use it. I mean, or whatever, you might not use it, but it can't be taken away from you.
Right.
Your mind is intact. You can use whatever that is
Growth making
that
you more money.
as Kia says, you download into your system.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff can come up and you can use it. That's the wealth. That's true abundance. That
Yes.
is true abundance, whatever is within inside. So go for it, Pamela. Go for it. And I wish you well. I hope you come back and see us again. And yeah, buy Kia's book. I want Kia's book to be I get on her all about that book all the time. I want people to write.
That's how what an accountability partner is supposed to do. Amen.
Right.
I mean, you doing your job.
Yeah, I love the way she holds it up. Like, yeah, like Barb Barker's beauties. Yeah. So, yeah, keep on keeping on. Well, thank you all for coming by. Again, like, subscribe, share, tell your brother, sister, not your necessarily brother, but he might do something too.
Tell a brother or a sister.
Tell a brother about it, because sometimes they ignore us a lot. But but tell a brother to and sister to take a look, and if they like what they hear, sign up, buy a book, get a accountability session with me, coaching
Yes.
session, and yeah, we'll see you later. We'll take care. Have a
Bye,
great day.
everybody.
Kia, you stay on. Take care.
Okay.
Bye bye, Grace, Pamela, Lori, Exquisite Coils. Exquisite Coils getting ready to buy your book. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. All right.
She
You
said
see
she'll
that.
see us
Thank
in
you,
our
Jeff.
YouTube
Thank you,
stream.
Kathy. Thank you. Oh, that's sweet.
That's right, Pam.
Yeah, I've been told I don't know how to wind it down. I guess this is true.
You need to get a sign off link. Just say
Sign off.
it like a tagline that says, and be and stay well from Wellside Retreats. Like something like that.
Stay well with Wellside Retreats.
And then cut it.
All right. Bye, y'all.